Hello there, I am Sue London and I want to welcome you to Miracles, Music and Pawprints. Now, I'm really glad that you're here today because I'm going to talk about a subject that is difficult for a lot of people, and to understand that when their pet crosses over, they're spending a lot of time mourning, which you do need to mourn, don't get me wrong on that, but we're going to talk about how there are pets that you have or had that are not just a pet, they're actually your soulmate. So today we're going to be talking about soulmates with Paws. So if you're new to the show, I want to encourage you to go to my website at asksuelondon.com. You can learn about everything that I'm doing and how I can help you. But I also want you to know that you're not alone. And there's so many things that I can help you with, through different meditations on my Insight Timer program, to consultations, to so much stuff. So I don't want to spend the time now talking about it all. Just check out my website, asksuelondon.com. Now, we're going to talk about soulmates with Paws. If you're new to the show, then you may or may not know about me and the fact that I've had 2 near-death experiences in my life. And what happened during those times was the first time when I crossed over, I was met by my childhood dog. Now, my childhood dog Spot crossed over when she was 19. But when I met her in the white light in heaven, she was a puppy. And now people say to me, they go to people for help and guidance on their pet coming and that, and they'll say, oh, they're not right. Or they may say to me, well, no, my dog died or my cat died at this age. How can they be young again? Well, what happens when a pet or a person, but today we're going to focus on pets, but it's the same for people and pets, is that when they cross over, they choose to be at that age or that time in their life when they loved it the most. All right? So they're crossing over, they're up in heaven, but then what they do is they're in this place where they are getting ready to reincarnate, and they are choosing what they want to learn or what their role will be in this lifetime. Okay? So what happens is there's soul contracts being made at that time. In other words, they know they're coming down and they are going to be working with specific people or specific pets. Some pets might come back as people. Some people may come through as pets. Okay, in other lifetimes it can change. All right. So your pet, before they crossed over and they're in this place and they've made that choice of where they want to be, what they're going to do. All right. They're going to be healers. They're going to be teachers. They're going to be coaches. Okay. And in that way, what I'm saying is you might need your cat, but you might get in a loving way or you might not, because your pet knows exactly what you need. And before your pet cross, take a second now and think about all of those things, lessons and experiences and situations that you had with your pet and what you learned from your pet. It was quite a lot, right? So your pet knew exactly it was coming down, and it might not have been with you as a puppy or a kitten or, a young animal, but maybe you got them later on, or maybe you got them just before you were diagnosed with disease, or maybe you got them at a time where you were in a relationship that wasn't going well and you needed that extra support and your pet gave that to you. All right. So then fast forward and they're spending this time, they're teaching you, they're supporting you, they're loving you, they're helping you heal, whatever the situation is. And then maybe their health starts going downhill, or they found their replacement, or they knew what they were there for to teach you and they've done that. And then they start to go downhill and then they cross over. And a lot of times people will say, what did I do wrong? Or what could I have changed to keep them here? Or why was I not with my pet? I feel so guilty about that. But your pet has decided exactly how things were going to go. So if your pet, say, crossed over and you were not with them, it was their choice, and that was their creating the situation to save you from that pain. They didn't want to see you sad. I had one dog, for example, Molly. I've talked about her on another show. And I said that when my dog Rocky had crossed over, it was hard. Like, Rocky was one of my soulmates. And I remember turning to Molly and saying, "Moll, look, you got to go in your sleep because I don't want to go through this again." Little did I know at that point that I would be doing this, every day of my life, helping people with their pets crossing and giving their messages at that time in my life. And so Molly remembered that for 15 years. And then when it came time for her to cross, at that time I was just about to go on my live radio show that was on an AM station. It was a drive home show, 5 to 6 o'clock. And I could not show up because there would be dead air. And Molly knew that. She planned it all. And I knew that she had cancer for a long time, for about a year, and she'd come over to me for healings. If you do not, again, know about me, I do healings on pets. I am a Reiki master, and I teach people how to do the healings. So she would come over to me, and she would put her body where she wanted the healings. And I knew she had a lot of cancer in her tummy, and she never showed it for a year. And I know I was helping her in that. But then this one day came, 10 minutes before our live radio show that my host and I were going to go on. And the deal was, put all the puppies outside. We had 3 dogs, get them all outside, get them to have their pee break, and then they all settled down and everything was good. But not that day. She knew I had to go on my show, and they all went outside. Great. Energy was wonderful. And then she came in with the boys, the 2 other dogs, and she was shaking. She had these little abscesses on her tummy. They burst. There was blood everywhere. She was shaking. And I thought, oh my God, she's choosing now. What am I going to do? And I knew instantly she chose that time, and I remembered what I said. And she was honoring that. Okay? So it ended up that my husband Ross ended up taking her. And while I was doing my live show, I said to my producer, "You're going to have to help me through this." We were really great at helping each other through challenges like that. I helped him with his grandma on a live show once, and he was helping me with Moll. I was feeling her crossing. I was knowing what she was going through, and I'm sending her healing and helping her with that as I'm doing my show. It amazed me what I was capable of during that time. And so after then, she came in the top corner of my office when she had crossed and said, "Thank you, Mommy. I love you. And I'm here with Rocky again. I'm so happy." And so for me, that was quite a gift. And we shared that on my show a week later to say to the audience what we really went through that week. And it was just so healing for people to know that our pets do come back to us, and our pets are in our life for a reason. And when they have done that job, then they cross. And then what happens, they're on the other side and they stay with you. They come back to you. And you may say to me, "Okay, well, I don't feel them." Well, when you're grieving over the loss of a pet, you're not going to be in the present moment. You're going to be just focusing on so much and most of your energy on what you lost. Okay? So don't be hard on yourself. You have to go through the grieving process. You have to do that. All right? That's part of the healing process. You're never gonna forget them. You're never going to stop loving them. In fact, when you can get yourself to this place where you're at peace, and you might be going, "You don't know what I'm talking about." I do, believe me. I have experienced the same emotions you have. I have seen and sometimes not seen my pets. I have grieved over some pets, and so others have not been so hard. And why am I telling you that? Because I'm sure if you're watching this, you're like, I have the same thing happening. All right, so when you are in a place where your pet's crossed and you just cannot let it go in the way, and I'm saying that with much respect and love for you, is what I mean by you just feel stuck. Like some people, it's years that they can't get past their pet crossing. And what that tells me, and for you to understand the process of what's happening, is that when you have a soul connection with a pet, okay, You have lifetime. That means you have had lifetimes with them. Think back when you got them. Do you remember looking in their eyes and going, oh my gosh, there's something familiar about you? Or I have this like instant love with you, or for you, there's just something familiar. Okay, these are all signs that you can have when you first connect. Something feels familiar, something feels safe, something feels good. Okay, so this is what can happen, right? So when that soulmate, your pet, crosses, it can be devastating for you. And what your pet doesn't understand is like, okay, I'm still here. Why is she not or he not talking to me? Well, what's happening is you're grieving. You're focusing on the loss, right? So what I want to say to you about this is that when you can focus on the present moment, and you know what? It takes time to do that. All right. Now I have created healing meditations that I've infused Reiki energy in it. I have infused 432 frequency. There's different frequencies in the different songs, and you can play those and just listen to them. Or I think last week on the show, in the second part after the song, I took you through a meditation, and that was to get you in the present moment. So when you can do that, go back and do that, then take that time to just do the steps, and then just be still. Just close your eyes, and what do you feel? What do you hear? What do you see? And the more that you can practice being in the present moment, that's where your life is going to change. Now, I've had people say to me, I don't want my life to change. I want my pet back. But I want you to understand, your pet is with you. Your pet did come back, okay? They're with you in a different form. They're with you as you're on this side, but they are with you in this different energy, okay? You're an energy, and they're an energy. They see you like you're seeing me right now, if you're watching this on video, or if you see another person in front of you or another pet in front of you, okay? And so when you can get yourself present, and I know you can do this, and I'm here to help you with that, okay? Then that's where you can connect with them. And then you can ask them, well, I need help with this. Let them be your personal assistants. Every day, I meditate 4 times a day. And I do that because I want to stay calm and grounded, because I feel so much of everything happening in the world, with people, with pets, with situations, with the environment, everything. And so I have to, bring myself back and make sure I'm always in the present moment, because that's how I can help you. Okay? So I have to be in my good state, because that's why I'm here. My role, when I had the second near-death experience and I was told I had to come back, was because I was being sent back because I had to help millions of pets and their people cope, heal, and move forward. So in order to do that, I have to keep myself in this present moment and be present for you, so that I hear and I feel and I see the messages, right? And give you the right guidance. Okay? So your pet is sitting with you every day, and they're like, okay, so I want to ask you something. I want you to tell me what you want. Tell me what you need, because I can't help you if you don't tell me what you need. And a lot of pets are coming to you in your dreams. So what you want to do with that is you want to have paper beside your bed, and then a pen. And as soon as you wake up, write down what was in your dream. Go to Google and then go spiritual meaning of this. And sometimes you think you're dreaming this. And it's like, oh, that's bad. That's really bad. I don't want to look it up. But it will mean something totally different. And that is your pet guiding you to do what you need to do. And, I tell my clients this all the time, that there are some pets that, they're adamant that they are going to get me to help their loved one. And things will happen for me that I know they're coming. Or what I do part of my intention every day is, I look at my calendar and I just have the other side tell me what am I working this day? What are my hours I'm going to be available to clients? And so, I was talking to a client today, and today I'm recording this, and it's Valentine's Day, and I wasn't going to work. But her pet was adamant it had to be today. And so I didn't question it. I held faith and I believed, and I follow through with the requests that your pets have. And so I was able to help her today. And I'm very grateful that I could do what I did for her. So I want you to understand there's a bigger picture of what's happening when your pet's crossed over. And there's also a big picture that when your pet crosses and you're really having a hard time, it's because they were a soul connection for you. Okay, you've been together in other lifetimes. All right, you might find that after they cross, that you start having dreams about these different lifetimes. And that's them showing you, hey, we were together in that lifetime. Do you remember that? Or you might start researching on a different, like Victorian times, or like one pet showed me he was a butler and he always loved cigars in his mouth, and it's funny that this dog loves to pick up pine cones in this lifetime. And the owner sent me a picture, and it looked like the dog had a pipe in its mouth, and it went from that lifetime. So don't question anything. Everything in your life is happening as it is supposed to. And a lot of that is your pet doing their thing to communicate with you. Or if you're working with me, they will do things to me to tell me, make sure, like, I need you to talk to me now. And like, don't focus on this. And if they are adamant they want my attention, I might be trying to pre-record my show, and then their face might keep popping up. I had that happen today, in fact. And I just knew, okay, I got to wait till, we've finished speaking. The person and I, because that animal was like no way gonna let me do anything else but focus on everything that he wanted to say. I want you to know there's a bigger picture to all this, and I want you to know that your pet is still with you. And if you're really grieving and having a hard time with us, please reach out to me. We can have a consultation, and I can help you understand exactly what's going on. And sometimes people want to know, well, what was our lifetimes together? Did we have another lifetime together? And I can answer those questions. And sometimes people will ask me some questions, and their pet's like rolling their eyes, like, are they serious? And then the pet will make me go and talk about this or around that. So everything that happens when your pet crosses over, there is a bigger picture, let's say, happening around their crossing, around how they're helping you, what is going on. I want you to take comfort from that and know that you have done absolutely nothing wrong in how they crossed or when they crossed, and if you were with them. Okay, that was their doing, not yours. I feel like there's some people watching this that are feeling very guilty for one reason or another, and your pet's like, that's such a waste of energy. That's such a waste of energy and time, because take it from me firsthand, and I know they tell me this as well, is that in heaven, there's none of these emotions. It's only joy, it's love, it's comfort, it's peace, it's happiness, it's health, whole health. Sometimes when they cross, it's like, we were so happy. Why are you mourning? I'm still right here. So for some pets, it's really hard to understand, like, why aren't you talking to me? All right. So I want to encourage you to talk with them. Now, what I want to do is I want you to go to the song now, and the words in there, I want to invite you to really listen to them, because again, that song channeled through me, and those words in there are for you. Okay. So then when we come back, we'll talk some more. We'll put that song on now, and it is called Soulmate with Paws. So I hope that you find some peace and comfort from this song. And I'll see you real soon after when we come back.
Before I knew your name, before I saw your face, somewhere beyond love had prepared this place. You walked into my life like you had always known. The sound of my heartbeat, the way I feel alone. Was it written in light long before time began? A promise we made, not fully understanding how or when. You are my soulmate with paws, heaven wrapped in fur. You found the cracks in my heart and quietly entered there. Not just a pet, not by chance, not just passing through. You are my forever friend, and I will always find you. You came when I was healing, you stayed when I was weak. You looked into my silence and heard what I couldn't speak. Some bonds don't need words, they move beneath the skin. And knowing without language where love has always been. Maybe we've walked before through lifetimes I can't see, but something in your eyes feels like home to me. You are my soulmate with paws, heaven wrapped in fur. You found the broken places and made them feel secure. Not just a pet, not by chance, not just passing through. You are my forever friend, and I will always find you. And if one day you run ahead across that rainbow bridge, I'll feel you still in quiet rooms, in every soft goodbye. Love doesn't end, it shifts its form, it widens, it expands. Soulmates don't say farewell, they just change hands. You are my soulmate with paws, still walking next to me, beyond the veil of time, beyond what eyes can see. Not just a pet, not by chance, not just passing through. You are my forever friend, and I will always find you.
Welcome back. Did you like the song? Did it make you cry? I have to tell you, I created it and it made me cry. And a lot of people have found it was very healing for them. So whatever came out of you during that time when you were listening to it, just know it's all good. Okay? Those words were there for you to understand that there's a higher, bigger picture to all this, right? There's more happening. This is a universal thing that, you know, when you're dealing with God and his angels and your loved ones on the other side, the miracles that they can create are absolutely unbelievable. It's just incredible. Now, what I want to do is to help you, is to understand the connection that you shared with your pet. So what I want you to do, you don't have to do it now. This is going to be kind of homework, all right? I want you, when you're ready, to grab a picture of your pet, if your pet's on the other side, or if your pet is on this side, then cuddle in with your pet, look into their eyes. Okay, you can see a lot when you look in eyes, because that's where you can see, that's the doorway to the soul. Place your hand on your heart. If your pet is with you, put your hand on his or her heart, or just have your hand on your heart and then hold that picture and just look at your pet's eyes. All right, and then ask, why are we here together? What did we come here to teach each other? All right, maybe you had to teach them love. Maybe they were a rescue pet and maybe they didn't feel loved, or maybe you didn't feel loved and they gave that to you. All right, so that's your first question. So I'm just looking at my notes here. What did we come here to teach each other? Let me repeat that if you're writing this down, or go back to the episode and look it up. What did we come here to teach each other? Because you're together for a reason. There's no question about that. All right? So then, when you're looking at the picture, or you're there with your pet and you're looking in their eyes, what is the first feeling or memory that comes up for you? Okay, because that's happening for a reason as well. For me, what happens a lot of times is if I'm looking in my pet's eyes, I can actually see a past life that we've had together. And it's so incredible. It's like, I feel like I'm watching TV when I look in my pet's eyes. It's just so cool, right? So that, again, is notice the first feeling or word or memory that you have. Now, I want to give you 3 reflection prompts, because journaling, when you sit down and you have something to think about, then just go with it. Just write about it. So the first one, the first prompt I want to give you is, what changed in me after my pet entered my life? So why I'm asking that question is because your pet came to you for a reason, like I just mentioned, right? And there's a high chance that they were sent to you to help you through something, whether that was a health challenge, or maybe a relationship change, or maybe you were going through abuse. You know, maybe you, like me, were an only child and your pet was your only connection for getting your feelings out. Okay, whatever the reason. Okay, so that question, again, you're going to journal on is, what changed in me after my pet entered my life? Okay, now the next question I want to ask you is, what part of me softened because of them? All right, so what part of me softened because of them? All right, you know, sometimes people have not had a pet, and they get a pet and they'll say to me, I didn't know what love was until I got a pet. Or, you know, someone else will say, I didn't commit, and I knew I had to care for this beautiful animal, and I'm doing that now, and my relationships are getting better. I commit now. Okay, so again, what part of me softened because of them? All right, now the next question is, what have they helped me survive, heal, or become? All right, I have had pets that have helped me to become stronger, or show me how much strength I had. They showed me to have confidence. All right, wherever I was on my journey, I would get a different pet teach me something else. I've had pets when, you know, I was first starting to speak, and I was somebody who used to throw up on teachers' desks and be told by janitors and staff that no more talking, that, you know, we don't want to clean up any more messes, to now speaking on large platforms and stages. And I had a pet that really helped me through that. Or when the first time I went on TV, scared me so much, right? It was something new, that fear of the unknown. And I had a pet that helped me through that. So what did your pet help you through? What did your pet help you survive? Have you gone through cancer? Have you gone through another illness? All right. My dog Rocky, when I had Crohn's disease, he kept coming up to me and he'd bury his head in my shoulder. And he was breathing really loud and it drove me nuts. And I'd push him away. And when I pushed him away, he'd come back and he kept doing this over and over. It was like, what are you doing? You're driving me nuts. But he was showing me that when you have pain, you don't just hold your breath and you're going to make it yourself tighter and it makes the pain worse. But he was showing me I had to breathe through it. All right. I finally figured it out, when I finally started listening and being in the present moment, right? To connect with that. Okay. So what did your pet help you with? All right. Now, this is kind of a prompt that you can be doing anytime. You can do this with pets that you have now. You can do it with pets that are on the other side. But the whole purpose is that it helps you to see there's a bigger picture why that pet came to you. So I hope that something I have said today will help you to feel peace, will help you to feel comfort, to help you to grow more spiritual in the way that planet is such a small place. All right. There's so much more that many people can't see or feel. And we all have this ability to connect to our loved ones and our pets on the other side. But when you're grieving and you focus on the loss, it's really hard to do this. So, today I want to tell you that you're not alone. Your pet has come back and they're sitting in front of you now and they want to help you, but they need you to tell them what it is you need. Now, for me, I meditate. People ask me this question: how often do you meditate, Sue? Well, I meditate 3 to 4 times a day, depending on what's going on, sometimes more, but the average, I'd say 4 times a day, I would meditate. And I need to do that because that helps me stay in the present, stay grounded with all the energy, all right? And I can get messages anytime from pets. And I have to be the best I can be in that state because I know that there are people out there that need me to help them. And so it's kind of like, an athlete does their workouts or whatever they do, right? This is my way of keeping myself in this present place. And when you're in the present place and then you're asking for help, then you will hear the messages that your pets are giving you. And oh my gosh, let me tell you, there's a lot of pets out there so frustrated right now because their owners aren't hearing it. So that's your first step. But I want you to know that I am here for you. And if you don't understand how to do this or you're having a hard time with this, please reach out to me. Okay, I am here to help you. We can book a consultation. I can guide you to what, different tools you can use, help you understand your past life connection with each other. Because when you understand that, there's more to you just having this special being it's just not an animal that came into your life with coincidence. There is a higher purpose and reason for this. So I hope that something that I have said is going to help you today. Now, again, if you need any help, my website address is asksuelondon.com. And I want to remind you again that there are meditations on there that are free. I do talks through Insight Timer. And you can see that I've got one coming up on February 25th, and I have one on March 7th. The one on the 25th, I'm talking about energy and how your energy is affecting your pet. And then the one on the 7th, you're actually going to bring your pet, and I'm going to show you how to clear their energy. So all of that is on my website, and that's under the Insight Timer link. And wherever you're seeing this, I'm going to post in the description about the episode those links. Okay, so check all that out. And I want you to know, you are an amazing parent to your pet. They love you so very much, and they truly want the best for you. They want you to have an amazing life. They don't want you feeling guilty. They don't want you crying. You know, yes, again, I'll say it, you do have to grieve, but they don't want you doing it forever. They want to guide you to have a wonderful life. Now we want to get you in the present moment so that you can connect with them. So that's it for this week. I hope that something I've said is going to help you. And I want to wish you a wonderful week. I'm Sue London, and I'm going to wish you much love and many blessings. And I'll see you real soon.